Okay, so one of the things I eat a lot of is bone broth to help heal my gut. And so much cheaper when you make your own, so much healthier. Great way to do it is I do chicken, I also do beef. The chicken is great because you can get a whole chicken for $1.99 a pound. Of course, you want to make sure you get organic, no hormones, all of that. But the easiest way, the way I love to do it because it's very quick and you get a great meal out of it, and bone broth in a few hours. You can do it in the crock pot, you can do it on the stove, but that takes a long time. So my favorite way to do it is with the Instant Pot. And I'm starting from the beginning with the chicken. So you just throw the chicken in. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Got it on the rack. And pour your water in. So mine is the 8 quart, so I have to put a little more in, about 2.5 cups of water. The 6 cup, I believe, is just, people say they use a cup. I don't have a 6 quart, so I can't speak to that. Read your manual. But you add the water, and then I'm going to throw some spices on real quick, and I'll show you in a minute which spices. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the chicken with all the spices on it. I used some garlic, onion powder, and just some Italian seasoning. I also did some salt, pepper. So just throw your seasonings on top, and then close it up, seal it, and I'm going to manually pressure cook it for 35 minutes. It's 6 minutes per pound. This one needs 35, and then just let it turn on and let it go. Once that's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I will go the next step showing how bone broth is made. Okay, so the chicken is done. This is what it looks like. And you can do one of two things. You can either take it out, eat it just like it is. It's going to fall apart and be super yummy. Or you can throw it in the oven and broil it to get it more like a roasted chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and broil it so you can see what it turns out if you go about it that way. And we'll go the next step after that. Okay, so I put it in the oven on broil about 4 to 5 minutes. This one was in more like 5 minutes because the baby started screaming. So as you can see, it browned a little more than I wanted to. But 4 minutes, this is about a 5-pound bird. So if it was like 2 to 3 pounds, you know, go more like 3 minutes. But as you can see, it crisped everything up a lot better, more like you would get as a roasted chicken. Whereas if you didn't broil it, then it's just going to be super moist and kind of fall apart. But my kiddos like it a little more dry, so that's your preference. So we're just going to kind of cut that up, shred up the chicken and eat it, and then save those bones, and that'll be our next step to make bone broth. So there's some great protein for you, super simple, took 45 minutes. Well, more like 50 if you add the broiling. But I'll be back to show you the next step on how to make the broth out of this. Okay, so I have the leftover chicken bones and skin at the bottom that I pulled apart. I've added about 1 large carrot or 2 small, 2 celery sticks, some onion. I put 1 onion and 5 cloves of garlic in here. So that is what I've got going so far. And I'm just going to cover that in water, put water up to the 2/3 line, and then we'll go from there. So I filled it up to the 2/3 line with water, and I also added 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in it. That helps pull the nutrients out of the bones. So now what we're going to do, put the lid on, seal it up, and we're going to hit soup broth for 1 hour, 20 minutes and let it do its thing. As soon as it's off, I'll just go ahead and manually vent it and show you what it looks like. Okay, so the chicken broth is ready. We are just going to strain it and then throw it in a couple of mason jars. Probably make 2.5, 3 mason jars full. And that's it. I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. So this is how much I got out of that batch. And that is what it looks like warm. And I'm going to put the tops on as soon as they cool down and throw them in the fridge. This is what it looks like after it's been in the fridge. I don't scrape my fat off, I actually use it. A lot of people will skim the fat off, but I do not do that. So that is what you have, and it tastes amazing. Warm it up. It's great for healing up your gut.